Mic check. Testing one. Yeah. Check 1, 2. Mic check. Check 1, 2. Mic check. Testing 1, 2. All right. Check 1, 2. Mic check.
Valerie's bringing them. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. That's hot. That's a hot mic. You want to be my clicker? That's forward, backwards. You did a great job last time. Hey, there were a couple punches. How y'all doing? Are you awake? You know, it's never fun to do the after lunch bunch, right? But I guarantee you will not go to sleep. And if you do, Better watch out. Just a little, stress for you there to make you wonder what I might do to someone that fell asleep. Do we have enough, Valerie? All right. Hey, you guys, my ABT people back there, you might have to bleep me, or else we can take care of it later. Been known to happen. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. What's happening? Why am I up there? I need my presentation. I'm hoping you're just trying to get this right. Yay, there it is. I have a clicker girl. She's my friend. She always keeps me on track. What time is it, clicker girl? Oh, that's all right. You don't have a watch. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Okay. We got a couple minutes. Get to know your neighbor. Keep wondering what I might do if you fell asleep. Valerie, you're telling us when it's 1:30 by getting up there and introducing me? You're gonna get up at 1:30 and introduce me? Yeah, that's how I'll know it's 1:30. This is not the right presentation. Come on down. Huh? No. I got 45, 46. Come on down. Hey. Are we ready to shut the door? Well, we're gonna get started, you guys. I'm gonna be like the stewardess on the airplane. We're getting ready to shut the door. So if your destination is not DBT skills, you may want to check your ticket and get out while you can. All right. If your destination is DBT skills, you've come to the bomb diggity class for DBT skills 4, peer support specialists and lay people. Now, lay people are not people that are laying down. I used to just, get confused. And now I know that they're just anybody. And the point I make by saying that is to let you know that, when you break it down, DBT skills are not rocket science. We've done this class with kindergartners, because kindergartners have meltdowns. So do adolescents. So do most of my family. So I've used them every day. All right. My husband's in here, but he's not one of the ones that melts down. Just clear the record. Now I'd like to introduce my introducer. This is my right-hand woman. She's been with me for 20 plus years, side by side, and she gets the pleasure of introducing me. I was legendary in the last class. I don't know how I moved to notorious. Seven years. 7 years it took. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel so lucky to get to share this work that has been particularly helpful to me as a person, as an individual in recovery, and as a person who works with people trying to recover and recovering and becoming resilient and transformed. So why am I up there again? I do not want that up there. Thank you. Jaden, would you shut the door after you, darling? There's just something about that that's disturbing. I'm gonna have to practice me some skills. Y'all do it with me. All right. All right. Clicker girl. So what is dialectical behavior therapy? How many people in here already know? So we don't need to do this one. No, I'm kidding. It is an empirically based treatment. It's been identified by the American Psychiatric Association and also the American Psychological Association, developed by Marcia Linehan or Linehan, however you say it. And she worked at the University of Washington. It was developed in the early 1990s, and DBT is expanded to treat a wide variety of issues for individuals. So that is a really nice boilerplate explanation. It is considered best practice. and we'll talk about for some of the things coming up next. Here's what this is really useful to treat. How many of you folks were in my earlier thing this morning? Okay, so you're gonna recognize some of the things that I'm saying. You know how we talked in my class earlier this morning about adverse childhood effects and trauma being the base layer for what I think is everything? So when you go out of here, don't go tell your provider, this lady said, okay, and get them all in the uproar and then be calling me and be pissed off and stuff, okay? So don't do that, but I'm going to tell you what I think based on, you heard, 30 plus years of doing this work and what I've learned. And this has been recent. This has been like probably really confirmed and affirmed to me over and over in the last 8 to 10 years, okay? Borderline personality disorder. Who's heard that? Okay, when I was going to school, they told us this. They said, you never want to have more than one borderline in your practice at a time because they'll drive you crazy. They said that to us. I'm telling you the truth. It was a long time ago, okay, because I'm old, but still they would say that stuff about people. The reason I'm telling you this is so you don't believe everything they taught you in school. Okay? Because that stuff becomes what I call flavor of the month. Okay? They used to think it was a good idea to put people in diabetes into a coma and remove parts of their brain. Not so good, right? But it was state of the art, evidence-based at the time, right? So they used to also do this thing called bloodletting to get rid of infections in people. Write this down. Question authority. Question authority, because I'm going to tell you what, nobody knows. These are all really good, highly educated guesses for what we know right now. And we didn't even start studying the brain, get this, until the 1980s. It wasn't until the 1990s that PET scans and CAT scans and MRIs became available, and then we could really look at a working brain. Guess how they used to study brains? Cadavers. That was the only way for a long, long, long time. And you know, and I know that they don't invest enough money in NIMH for mental health research. Most underfunded research there is. Okay. So, question borderline personality. Question authority. Just ask yourself, is that really what this is? Or does this person act emotionally dysregulated because, oh yeah, their mother sold them to a drug dealer when they were 3? Oh wait, no, she didn't sell them. She traded them for drugs. Oh yeah, this girl was trafficked when she was 8 years old. Now, would you be emotionally dysregulated if that happened to you? Might be a little wacky, huh? Might not just be right? How could you be? Suicide and self-harming behavior. You know what? I don't believe really anybody gets up thinking they want to die today until they get up and they start feeling the feelings and they start remembering the memories and they start getting re-immersed into all that stuff. Then you can understand why, right? Substance use disorders. We say it all the time. What is the word we tell them? Hyphenated. Self-medicating. Self-medicating. Why do people use drugs? First of all, because we taught them to. Doctor said, here, have some of the pill fairy. It will help you. The pill fairy comes back to bite you in the ass because there ain't no pill that's going to cure all your ills. Never believe it, and never take that without thinking really long and hard and researching and asking a lot of questions. Okay? PTSD. Now, I believe that DBT and PTSD, they're all real and they're all intertwined. Okay? I believe that. I believe DBT really helps people like us because it teaches you to do what you've never been taught to do before. Take care of yourself and tamp down. Respond. Write this down. Respond. Don't react. I have this saying I have with my kids and my grandkids: don't take the worm. It's bait. Don't take the bait. Don't go back to those memories that are going to send you off and failing and flailing and wanting to die and wanting to take drugs because you can't stand it anymore. Stay off that road. Stay off that road. Learn a different road. It takes time. It's hard. But this is another thing. Write this down. Hard is hard. Okay? I tell people in the mental health court every day, hard is hard. It's hard when you're on drugs and chasing the dragon every day, wondering where you're going to get that next fix. It's hard wondering how you're going to get the money to pay for that. It's hard wondering, who am I going to steal from today so I can go pay the drug dealer over here? It's hard living on the streets. It's hard prostituting yourself. It's hard being homeless. It's hard to get well, too. Because if you put half the effort into getting well that you put into chasing the dragon, guess what? You're going to make it. So write that down. Hard is hard. All right? Cluster B personality disorders. We all know what that is. Nobody knows what that is. Hell, I'm not sure I know what it is. They change it all the time. You know, they have that Bible that they say we should use. It's called the DSM 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 are revised. These people are so screwed up. They can't even agree amongst themselves what this stuff is. Okay, that should tell you something. Question authority. Okay, bingo. Who said that? Raise your hand. Amen. Can I get an amen? Okay, listen, please don't go tell your provider this woman said. Okay, I'm just really trying. These things exist, but I'm not sure they exist because pretty soon I pretty figure everybody I meet is going to be bipolar. Every kid I know is going to have ADD and ADHD. But you know what I really know after I talk to them for 15, 20 minutes? They got PTSD. They got trauma. So what do they got? And maybe some of these things have evolved as a result of layer 1 on the 3-layer cake. Say it. Layer 1, trauma, substance use, serious mental illness. If you're going to tackle that cake and you think you're going to make a dent in any of it, you better work on all of it at once. Okay? All right. Clicky click. The goals of DBT are to help you cope in healthy ways. This is a huge one. Learn to regulate emotions. This is so you ain't going off like some idiot all the time on people getting arrested. It's going to keep your ass out of jail. Do you understand what I'm saying? Can I get an amen? All right. It's also going to improve your interpersonal relationship. Ask my husband, doesn't it, honey? Okay. More importantly, to accomplish all this, the past is history. The future's a mystery. All we have is the present. So the mindfulness component of DBT helps you be here now. Write that down. Be here now, because there ain't no other place you could be tomorrow than room. All right? And yesterday's over. Which part? Be here now because the past is history, tomorrow's a mystery. All we have is the present moment. So you need to be in it because tomorrow is a rumor. Right? How many times we hear tomorrow's never promised? We all know that. Some of us know it up close and personal, and it wasn't no fun. Okay? All right. Next slide. Please. This says DBT assumptions, but I think these are peer support assumptions. I think they're people that want to help people assumptions. If you'll do these things, you're going to be all right. You won't go wrong if you do these things. Remember, please remember, individuals are doing the best they can at any given time. Take this back to your abusers. Take this back to people that didn't know any better. Dr. Maya Angelou says, if you know better, you'll do better. Amen? So, you know, people don't know what no one's taught them. Write this down. Hurt people hurt people. Why did they do these things? Always ask yourself why. Write that down. Why? Individuals want to improve. Can I get an amen? They're in front of you for a reason. They want to improve. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. All behavior is caused. People don't get up in the morning saying, I'm going to go off on this world today. They do it because it's not what's wrong with them, it's what happened to them. Everybody say it. It's not what's wrong with them, it's what happened to them. Individuals may not have caused their problems, but it's up to them to solve them anyway. This is the life is not fair speech that I give my children at least once a year. I don't care how old they are because they keep coming back in here. You know, life is not fair. No baby has to be born into an abusive household, into a household of domestic violence or drug use or whatever's going on. Nobody asked for that. But guess what? At some point, you're going to be sitting in the driver's seat of your life, and you're going to have to choose whether you're going to do the same thing or whether you're going to change it. Okay? Oh. Figuring out and changing the causes, the whys of the behaviors is more effective than blaming and judging. Where does blaming get us? I'll tell you where it gets you. You get locked up. Because once you put on the shackles of being a victim, unless you choose to put your ruby red slippers and get out of them, you're always going to be there. Remember, you're like Dorothy. You got your ruby red slippers, you got the power, but you got to know how to use it. Somebody's got to help you. New behavior needs to be learned, right? We learn damn fast when not to piss off mom when she's drunk, right? Okay, well, we got to learn a different approach for life as it goes on. Okay? We learned it once, we can learn it again, and we can be more adaptive in our learning. Today, we are going to focus on skills training because it's easy and anybody can do it, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist. All right? Go ahead. Next slide. Skills training in DBT, what is it? Mindfulness, interpersonal effectiveness, distress tolerance, and emotional regulation. Next slide. Okay, when you're working with people, you say, oh Lord, this is such a mess. Where do I start? Here's your blueprint. You start with life-threatening behaviors. Suicide attempts, self-harm, dangerous drug use, dangerous sexual behaviors. Anything dangerous, just write that down. Anything dangerous. Therapy interfering behaviors. Anybody got any resistant people out there? Come on, I can't be the only one. Oh yeah, there you are. Now you're crawling out the woodwork, coming into the showroom floor. Yes. Any behaviors that interfere with the client receiving treatment. Those are the things you want to tackle first, okay? Then quality of life. Substance abuse, extreme financial difficulties, homelessness, criminal behavior, anything high risk. Okay, next. All right, here's what we want to increase. So decrease bad. Okay, we don't say bad. Huh. Thank you. Decrease negative, increase positive. So we want to increase mindfulness, emotional regulation, distress tolerance, and interpersonal effectiveness. Next, please. We're starting into the actual skills now. Interpersonal effectiveness training, this is what it teaches you. To help you clearly communicate with others. Did we all growing up know how to do that? I don't know about y'all, but I just got yelled at all the time. And blamed. So I just stayed away. Okay, yeah, amen. All right, so it also helps us learn to say what? Most powerful word once you learn to use it. Complete sentence. Put a big old period at the end, right? What we gonna put at the end? Big old period. Observe limits. Oh, anybody in here besides me got squishy boundaries? I remember my first therapist said, oh, girl, you ain't got no boundaries. And the ones you think you have are squishy. I was like, I've been to school for 48 years and nobody ever told me about squishy boundaries. So watch out for them squishy boundaries. You might want to write that down. It's on the test. It also teaches us how to damp down things. If there was one kind of overall description I would give you about DBT skills informed training, it's that you're learning to calm down, lower the temperature, decrease the heat on the pot so it don't boil over. Okay, so we're going to go to the next page, which is going to talk us through. These are just kind of weird. I'm sorry. I love Marsha Linehan. I love me some DBT, and I love it, but she must have been up late at night trying to figure out all these acronyms. You know what I'm saying? Who thinks of this stuff? But I don't care. I got it. I know what it means now, and we're going to use it, okay? Dear man, this is for helping you communicate not only to others, but to yourself. What am I seeing? What am I experiencing? Because you know what? How many of us are on autopilot most of the time? And you know what? With the onslaught of phone use, I see most people are on phone pilot. They don't even default to their own autopilot anymore. They have phone pilot. Google it, baby. All right. Dear man, it's self-explanatory. It helps you describe, what did I just hear? What did I just feel? What am I going to do about it? How am I going to express this? Assertively. Once I figure it out a little bit, then I can feel better about what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to reinforce it. This is both ways, to yourself and to the person you're working with. Help them to do these things. Okay, this is giving them, I call it giving them their legs, giving them their 2 feet to stand on. Do it mindfully. You remember what's this? Brain in a hand. Remember brain in a hand. Okay. These things are meant to, remember, we're down here in amygdalaville, just reacting. Well, we're going to shut that down and we're going to pull in the big boy, the prefrontal cortex, and we're going to start thinking about things before we do them. Oh, did you know you could do that? I did not. No one ever said you might want to think about that before you throw that chair through your dining room window. It's probably not going to work out well for you. It's 40 below zero out there. True story. Appear confident. We have to teach people who have been in the victim shackles confidence. They have to learn that it's okay to think about these things, to plot a course of action and do it. All right. And they have to learn how to what? Negotiate. Life is a negotiation. Relationships are negotiations. You know, I have this thing that I teach my kids, and they didn't learn it, but my grandkids are doing better. Do I want peace or do I want to be right? Write that down. Do I want peace or do I want to be right? And if you negotiate, hopefully you can come to a win-win. Those are the best of all. Give means how we do it. Gently. People respond to gentleness. Interested. What is our big V word? Say it again. Validate. Because these people, like me, have been empty for so long. Go ahead. No, it's good. We all seek validation. I think the important thing is to create a dynamic between you and the person in front of you where they don't even have to seek it because you've already given it. See what I mean? From the get-go, you're going to be gentle and interested. With an easy manner, you're going to validate that they're even in front of you. The first very time you meet them, I'm so happy you're here. I really feel like we can do good work together. I understand you've been really having a hard time, and I think we can work on that together. I'm happy you're here. Of course you need help. Who wouldn't, given what's happened to you? Not hard. But if you start it, then I hate all that med seeking. Oh my God, my son got in a car wreck, went to the doctor, and he's an addict, has his leg half cut off. Oh, we think he's med seeking. Well, hell yeah, he's med seeking, got his damn leg cut off. Come on. Validation seeking, hell yeah, they're seeking validation. They never had any. Okay? So, question authority. That's a bunch of mid speak for people that don't understand all this. Now, don't go tell them some woman said y'all full of shit. Okay? Don't go tell them that. You might have to bleep some of this. We want all of our interactions to be fair. We want to offer apologies if we need to. Okay? But that means if you feel you need to. Anybody ever been on the end of an inauthentic apology, kind of like what Diddy did lately? I mean, that stuff was pathetic, dude. Just hang that shit up. You know, it's over. You done canceled. I don't care. It's over now. The video's out. Don't be up in here apologizing now. Just pay us more money. Stick to values. Help them understand what values are. Okay, model them. Again, you're going to be modeling this from the very minute you sit down. I don't care if it's with a toddler or a 75-year-old. Okay, you're modeling all these things. What am I? Truthful, authentic. It don't mean nothing if it ain't real. And people, I'm going to tell you one thing. People can spot a phony from a minute away. You go up to my people and you try to shit them, and buddy, they're going to be like, next. Wise mind. Everybody get into your wise mind. Come on, do it with me. It feels good for a minute. You'll think you're really wise. No, really, do it. This is an order. Don't you feel wise? Omnipotent. That's what I mean. Wise mind is this wonderful place you can get to, because it's kind of a intersection like this Venn diagram. See, I even know that, what that is. That's a Venn diagram there. And what it is it's kind of the things from your emotional mind, but they're tempered with the reasonable mind. So they're not so hot. Remember, we're trying to what? Damp down the temperature. So if we got somebody over here raging about this, and they're over here intellectualizing about this, we want to bring them together and get them some understanding. Wise mind is to create understanding. Okay? It's to understand what? Yourself. Yourself. So the what skills are observing. Take the time to see and think about what it is. It's a lot like Fear Man. Teflon mind. Anybody got Teflon mind? Come on, please don't let me do that. All right, I know a bunch of you are sapping me on this one. Describe to yourself even what's happening. Take the time to say, wait a minute, what's really going on here? Am I exaggerating? You know, Valerie, can you give me an example of wise mind? Okay, I got where you're awfulizing. Okay, this is going to be what goes on. I know it's going to be this, and I know it's going to be that, and this is going to be the outcome. Well, in wise mind, you talk back to that, because your logical, reasonable mind says, wait a minute, you don't know that. Maybe they weren't even talking about you. Okay? So it's kind of learning to fight with yourself. And you participate in that discussion. Now, back 100 years ago when I was in school, they told us if we talk to ourselves, it's crazy, right? Right? Come on now. But guess what? Then when I kept going back to school, all the rules kept changing. The last time I was in school getting my master's, they wanted me to practice good self-talk. What the hell? First y'all tell me if I talk to myself, I'm gonna be crazy. Now you tell me to talk to myself. And now I'm telling you that stuff better be wise and reasonable. Lord, it's changed. See, question authority. Don't say that woman said. All right, next. The stress tolerance skill. This is the huge skill. This will be, what are we out of time? Oh, okay, don't give me those. Oh, okay. Okay, this is really important to be able to use with anybody, because what you want to do is lower the temperature so that you can be reasonable. Okay, because you can't make no headway if somebody's raging at you. All right. So the first one is the stop skill, then the pros and cons, then the tip skills. Then if all else fails, you're going to distract yourself. And then we're going to learn how to self-soothe. So next. The stop skills. Gee, how do you think you'll remember this one? Stop in the name of love or a big old red stop sign? I like stop in the name of love. Okay. So the S is for stop. Stop in the name of love. Please stop. Take a step back, because when you're stepping back, you're going to breathe. Observe. What just happened? What's going on here? Help me understand. Proceed mindfully. Help them understand what's happening. Help you. Remember, you're always a part of this equation if you're working with someone. If you're working on yourself, then you're working on yourself. But if you're in a peer support situation and you're working with someone trying to help them come down or come out of a flashback or anything like that, you got to take care of both of you and help them learn that process so they can do it when they're not with you. Makes sense? See how empowering this can be? Not only for them, but for us. Because if all we did was sit out there and pour out every day and never get anything back, how long do you think we'd last? This makes it reciprocal. This makes it a relationship. Okay? All right. Tip activities. Again, I'm not going to say she was on something making up these things, but it makes me wonder sometimes. Okay. Tip means, what have we been talking about? Lowering the temperature, right? One of the things I recommend you do is keep a thing of baby wipes at your practice or wherever you work, or in a little baby cooler. Keep them cool. You can put them in the freezer, you can put them in the refrigerator. Keep baby wipes. If someone begins having a meltdown with you, immediately bring out your baby wipes, your magic baby wipes, and both of you start putting them on your face. And you say, doesn't that feel good? Come on, just take a minute and let's just try to cool down here. Let's just feel this for a minute. You think that, guess what? They cannot do anything because they're doing what the mammals do, like dolphins and whales. It's called the mammalian drive, to lower their body temperature, to come down. You cannot, remember neurobiology, all this cannot keep going if you're cooling it down. You're cooling it down. Please remember the cool baby wipe. Martha, does it work? We had a training at Eastern State Hospital. They have baby wipes. Intense exercise. If you're mad, go beat a punching bag. You know, if you're mad, let's go walk real fast around the loop a couple times. Let's just go walk. We don't have to talk. We're not going to do anything. Intense exercise. Paced breathing. You all know what that is, right? I can't keep the numbers straight when I'm doing it, and then I end up like feeling like I'm going to suffocate. I guess I'm holding my breath too long in one of the squares or something. But my recommendation is it doesn't have to be all that. You can keep it simple and just breathe in, relaxation, peace. Breathe out, blow, just like pregnant women do. Really important to blow your suit. Let's blow the suit. You cannot keep this all charged up if you're blowing the soup. It will calm down because physiologically that's how we're built. That's that parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system kicking in to alter those adverse effects of stress. Progressive relaxation, y'all know what that is, right? Tensing everything up, holding it as long as you can, letting it go. Really works. If you do that for 10 times, it's impossible physiologically for your body to stay all this up. All right. This is really important. This is the big stuff. The distress tolerance skills. This is where Linehan coined her most famous thing, radical acceptance. First of all, I want to make perfectly clear that acceptance does not mean you agree. Everybody say, acceptance does not mean agreement. It just means it is what it is. It was what it was. Okay. So with radical acceptance, we turn the mind away from fighting it. I'm so mad. I'm going to get revenge. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. To accepting. Not agree. This has nothing to do with forgiveness yet. This is just, okay, I can't argue that. Now help me work together to deal with the reality. But if you won't even admit the reality, if you're still in denial, you've got to work through that with acceptance. Okay? That's where the turning the mind comes in, the half smile. Eventually you'll get people to say, you know, you're right. I say, give me willing hands. They give me willing hands. They give me the relaxed face or the half smile. And they say, it is what it is. It was what it was. I'm safe now. You can do affirmations with me. But just to get them to acceptance, and please be sure you help them understand it's not about forgiving. It's not about agreeing. It's just the mere acceptance of the reality so that we can begin to deconstruct that for you. All right? So willingness versus willfulness. This breaks down if you get that resistance, if you hit that wall of resistance, this will help you break that down to turn the mind toward accepting. And if you can do that, that's a real game changer. And you will do it. If you do these things, I promise you, you'll do it. By the end, they won't be raging. They'll be in a different space. You will too. And usually there's a lot of hugging at the end. Okay, next. In emotional regulation, reducing the intensity of emotion states is so important because we teach people to change their responses to, I am accepting what you're telling me. I accept that it happens. I don't have to agree with it. I need to think about what I think about it. So write down, think about what you think about. Does this make sense? Can I tell you it works with kindergartners? All right. We're going to go to those two examples, ABC and please. More of Marsha's wonderful. Go ahead. Okay, once you build on this, once you're working with someone for a little bit and you've established a therapeutic relationship, then you're going to help them remember that they're accumulating positive experiences. They come in, I'm quitting. I've had it. This is a bunch of BS. It doesn't work. I'm not going to do this anymore. So you model calmness, offer them cool baby wipes. You do it with them, and you mirror that you see that they're upset. And of course you're upset. It's frustrating to change. So that's validation. Validate, validate, validate. And then you say, but remember when you thought you couldn't do blah, 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 and you did da, 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 and then it came out and you felt so much better? This is just something that's happening right now. Let's try to work with it. Of course you're frustrated. Validate. Who wouldn't be, considering what just happened? You know, maybe somebody cut you off in traffic and then slammed on their brakes. That's scary. So you resonate with the feelings. Build mastery. That's how you build mastery. Remember when so-and-so did this the other day and you just said, I need to take a break. I'm going to go to the restroom and wash my face. And you came back and you were composed. I'm telling you guys, it sounds like, are you kidding me? But it really works. I see it every single day. Doesn't it, Valerie? At our place at Participation Station, we get a lot of people that are dysregulated. And we help them and they calm down. Another thing we've done that's really exciting for me is we had a lady that used to just come in and cry all day. Unconsolable crying. So one of my brilliant co-workers said, Dana, you can't just sit here and cry all day. It's upsetting. It's upsetting for you. And look how tired it makes you. And I'm going to set this timer. I'm going to let you cry for 25 minutes. And then we're going to go into the sensory room and we're going to just try to calm down. She set the timer. Dana cried for 25 minutes, brought the timer to Oyo and said, are we going in the room now? So she had her window for what she needed, but she knew there was more. The next thing I knew, she was teaching crocheting, running tracks. Girl, when she came to do her first track, she dressed up like she was going to church. She had a hat on, had her hair done, had her little gloves on, and taught crocheting. True story. Oh, yes, and she moved out from her abusive parents who were just using her for her check. That happened in about a 6-month period of time. So I want you to know it doesn't take forever either. Okay. Cope ahead. If you know you're going into a stressful session, if you know you're having issues with somebody, cope ahead. Get a plan. Make a plan, how you're going to do it, how you're going to survive it, what you think is going to happen, and how you can head it off at the pass. And I will tell you to begin by validate. People need to treat their physical illnesses. They need to try to eat healthy. Yeah. Avoid mood-altering substances like food. Sleep is very important. Very important. So things like progressive relaxation and breathing before bedtime can really help our folks and us. Get exercise. Next, be in. On time and under budget. Do you have any questions, comments, complaints? Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you did. And really, it's not rocket science. Remember those things that I taught you? And when I said write it down, make yourself a little poster and put that wherever you sit. They're powerful things. Any questions? Oh, I hate that.
What is this for you? Thank you.
I get an umbrella. Thank you. Oh, you guys, you are my beloved. I love you. I can't help my own son, but I can help you all and I can help me. Thank you, sweetie.
You have a good day.
Thank you. You too. You all be safe. I love you. I have